Hello, beautiful acupuncturists. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If that's where you're watching, maybe you're watching on my blog. And I am Dr. Charlene Lawrence. I own the Empire Wellness Center in Southern California, and I am also the creator and founder of the hypnopuncture method, where I combine hypnotherapy with acupuncture. And today I want to talk a little bit about how to network as an introvert. Now, I don't know how you all have built your practices, but I will say that over the last 5+ years of a long part of my practice, I have been networking, and very effectively. I have found that networking, getting out there into the world, is honestly one of the best ways to help build your practice. So if you're either starting practice or if you're in a building and growing phase and you aren't networking, or you think you're not networking, we'll talk about that in a minute. But if you think you're not, you probably are. And I want you to get out there and to start doing networking. This is something that may come and go from your practice. It's actually something, as we move into 2024, that I might let go of this year. We will see. We'll see how it goes. I've noticed recently I'm not getting a good ROI from the networking financial investment that I'm making. However, we're going to talk about this for introverts. Networking for me is kind of my socializing time. I am a strong introvert. I would love to spend all of my time right here in my house, actually over there in the corner, sitting on my couch with a book and my dogs and a cup of tea. That's what I would love to spend my life doing. And then go see patients and have those deep connections with them, help them heal, and then go back home to the corner of my couch with a book and my dogs. That's impractical. And so for me, networking has actually kind of grown my friend group. Like most of my friends I've met from networking, and it's because I see them very continually when I go to these networking events. Now, there's tons of networking out there. And when I said a moment ago that you might think that you're not networking, but you are, especially if you're an introvert, then think about what are those places that you frequent all the time and you're getting to know people. It could be the yoga studio. It could be the coffee shop that you go to all the time and you have your favorite barista. That's still networking. So what I want you to do is to remember to tell people what you do. And there's so much psychology and research around this. You can come up with a 30-second elevator pitch. You can do whatever. Honestly, I have learned over the years, a couple things have worked really great for me. One, just flat out telling people I do acupuncture. They're curious. That's very curious peaking for people. We have different and unique careers. And so you can tell people that, and that did great things for me for a long time, telling people that I'm an acupuncturist. But what's been more impressive and helpful in helping to build my business is to help drive people to the transformation that they're looking for. So people don't know that they're looking for an acupuncturist or an herbalist or whatever it is that you specialize in, but they are looking for the transformation. So I came up with kind of an elevator pitch for my practice when I'm out talking with people, where somebody says, "Hey, what do you do?" And I say, "Oh, I help people improve their physical and mental health using cutting edge technology and ancient tools to balance their mind, body, and soul." That's kind of my little elevator pitch. It's even on my website and all that kind of stuff. And it helps. It piques people's interest. I could even leave off the balancing their mind, body, and soul part. I could just say, "Hey, I help people improve their physical and mental health." That's what I do. And then that leads to a deeper conversation. So especially if you're an introvert and you're uncomfortable, maybe sharing exactly what you do, or you've had all those times where you do say, oh, I'm an acupuncturist, and everybody goes, ooh, I hate needles, or oh, I tried that once and it didn't work for me. I used to have all of my answers and my quips and stuff to come up after I heard those things, and I've just let those people go. They're not my people. Those aren't the people I want in my tribe. Unless you do, and then it would be a good way to maybe come up with something. Oh, you tried acupuncture once. How many visits did you have? Oh, just the one? Oh, I've found that it usually takes people 5, whatever your number is, and say, oh, that might have been a miscommunication from your other acupuncturist to you. They should have told you and given you a treatment plan, whatever it is. You might want to have kind of those ideas in your back pocket. If you're going to do traditional networking. So that's what I'm going to help guide you through right now. So again, if you go to the yoga studio all the time, the gym, the coffee shop, wherever you frequently go, just start a conversation, talk to people, let them know what you do. Or you might want to join traditional networking settings where you're actually spending time with other entrepreneurs. And this is what I've done over the last 5.5 or so years. That again, like the first few years of my practice, 3-4 years, I wasn't networking, and I just slowly built. I made most of my patients from the boutique studio that I work out at. Once I got into the traditional networking, that's when referrals really started coming in at a very, very rapid rate. So the very first thing I did is I joined an organization called Team Referral Network. They are throughout the US, but they're primarily here in Southern California. So a similar organization that is a much larger scale organization is called BNI, Business Networking International. And that's a group that I belong to currently, is BNI. But Team Referral Network, very similar concept. And there's a few of them out there. I know there's one called LaTip and maybe a couple others. And so maybe there's one kind of exclusive to your region. But the thing that sets these groups apart is they're called category exclusive, meaning that we as acupuncturists, we might be considered either the acupuncture category or like the health and wellness category. And so if you join one of these organizations like Team Referral Network or BNI, you are going to be the only acupuncturist in that group. And so if another acupuncturist comes in and wants to join the group, sorry, that seat's taken. And so a lot of times, like realtors, that's usually a very sought after seat, mortgage lenders, people who run insurance companies, so farmers insurance, property and casualty type insurance programs, those seats are often like hot seats and they go really fast. But these are great groups to be in for an acupuncturist for a couple of reasons. One, we're very underrepresented in these organizations. I know I can go to Team Referral's website or BNI's website and type in acupuncturist versus type in realtor, and every single chapter will have a realtor, but maybe 1 in 10, probably less, will have an acupuncturist. So we're very underrepresented in these groups, which is great because that means you get to meet a ton more people. And oftentimes, most of these organizations, you'll join a chapter and have a home chapter that you meet with once a week. It is a big time investment for sure, but you can go visit other chapters. As long as they don't have another acupuncturist, you can go visit them and meet more people and get more referrals. And then you might have power teams in these groups. So you might want to join a group like this, a category exclusive group that has a chiropractor in it, and see if they're networking with other acupuncturists. Do they have somebody that they refer to regularly yet? And if the answer is no, make a connection with that person and, learn their style. Is this somebody that you're going to want to refer your patients to who are in need of chiropractic care? So that's one type of traditional networking. And then I think what a lot of people think of as kind of the most common entrepreneurial networking is to join a chamber of commerce. And I definitely agree with that as well. Like I said, I've been a part of that category exclusive organization, either team or BNI, or like I said, there's others out there. That was the first foray I took into networking. And it was just a couple years ago that I joined my local chamber of commerce. Now, I was really, really nervous because at least at like my BNI group, it's a smaller group of people and I meet with them every single week. So I got comfortable quickly. Remember, I'm an introvert. I want to sit in the corner on the couch with my book and my dogs. Getting out there, putting myself out there to large groups of people is uncomfortable for me. And so it took me even more years before I decided to join a chamber of commerce, because usually chambers include quite a large number of people. And the chamber that I belong to in the city that I live in, which is the neighboring city of where my practice is, they have hundreds of members, maybe thousands, and each event draws anywhere from 50 to 100 people at the event. Now, for the introvert, for somebody who charges my batteries alone, being around that many people can be very draining. And so here's what I want to teach you when you go out to those types of networking events. So first of all, you gotta go. You've gotta put on a happy face, get yourself into a flow, whatever you have to do beforehand, meditate, read a book, sit in silence for 2 hours, whatever it is, just get out there. You want to meet these people. These other entrepreneurs have been in your situation before. They've been new or growing in their business. They know how to connect you to other people. Think of that realtor that I talked about. They not only have sold houses to dozens, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands of people that are in their network, but they know everybody else too in the city. Especially going to a city's chamber of commerce. Those are ways that you can start getting connected to the people who run the city, the mayor, the chief of police, anybody that might have big influence. Maybe there's certain laws you want to see passed and you want to start rubbing elbows with these people. And so there's a lot of great advantages to doing networking. And as an introvert, it still can be very uncomfortable. So 1, you have to get out there. 2, you can set time limits. You don't have to stay the entire time. I had this mentality for a while when I would go to events. I would psych myself up and be like, oh, I have to stay the whole 3 hours. No, those high profile people that you want to get connected to, they get in, they make the connections they want to make, and then they get out. So come up with a couple of things like, I want to meet 3 new people today, or 3 people who have connections to XYZ, whatever that is. So set a goal. And it can be small. It can absolutely be 3 people. You don't have to go meet 15 people, especially if you're an introvert. So set those goals, get in, get out, recover. And then I want to give you a tip on just breaking the ice with people. So I can't remember what it came from, some psychology book many years ago. It's called the Ford Method, and it's really simple. So Ford is an acronym for family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. So you can ask people these icebreakers, one of those 4, or all 4 if you're having a great conversation with them, and ask somebody, oh, tell me about your family. Tell me about your occupation. Tell me about your recreation. So what are your hobbies? What are the things you love to do? Tell me about your dreams. What do you dream of doing in the future? Or do you want to retire? Do you want to create a foundation? Especially that occupation part, that's a biggie when we're networking together, because you're there to learn about other people's jobs, how you can refer them business, and then they can start to refer you business as well. All networking is learning how to connect with others. I originally thought networking was me going places, meeting people to get more patients. And when you can flip your mindset to, I'm going to go network so that I can make good connections, maybe deep connections, whatever that is for you, those are the people that you will stay connected with in the future, and they'll come to mind when somebody needs their services or products, or vice versa. So the more you get out there and network, the more people will remember you. Now, I've been with my chamber for a couple years, 2.5 years now, and I didn't immediately start getting good quality referrals, but I'm the only acupuncturist in the entire chamber. And so anytime something comes up where acupuncture could be a good solution, or if somebody specifically asks for an acupuncturist, because I consistently go to the different events all the time, people immediately think about me. And so use that FORD acronym when you're out talking to people, using an icebreaker. And it's totally okay if you are the wallflower. If you're like me, if you're introverted and you're nervous and you're uncomfortable, you can absolutely be the wallflower, because I promise you, there are people at these events who are master networkers, and they are extroverts. They want to come talk to you. They want to get to know everybody in the room. And so they are going to pick out those wallflowers standing along the wall, holding the wall up, maybe with their drink or their tea in their hand, waiting for somebody to come talk to them. That is that person. They are going to seek you out, and they are going to probably start introducing you to other people around. So go out, do your networking. Remember the FORD method. So family, occupation, recreation, meaning hobbies and all that kind of stuff, dreams. And then finally, my last tip for you is the fortune is in the follow-up. You can't just go to these events and let's say you have your goal. I want to meet 3 new people today, and make it a very simple goal, because maybe this is your first time. You're really uncomfortable and scared. And so you go and you meet those 3 people and you collect their business cards. And you're like, I don't even care if this was a quality connection. I met my quota and I need to get out of here. I've been there. That's okay. So collect those 3 business cards, and I recommend you have a pen handy, and on that business card, write something unique that you learned about that person. Maybe you used the FORD method and you found out that you asked them what their hobbies are, and they love to golf. And so take that and write that on their business card, loves to golf. Do that with each of these connections you've made. And then I recommend this. This is how I personally receive follow-up. I like it best to receive a follow-up connection after, like a day after the event. So let's say I go to an evening mixer. I don't like to get home and immediately find an email from somebody that I connected with that just says, oh, it was great to chat, blah, 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 blah. To me, that's a little too eager. I just personally don't like that. And so I don't do that myself. So what I recommend is waiting a day. Wait till the following day. That when you're taking care of your email that next day, whatever time that is for you, take those 3 business cards of those 3 connections you made. Remember, you have a little something unique written on them, and just reach out real quick. Send them a quick email that says, hey, it was great to meet you last night at the mixer or the breakfast or whatever it was. I loved hearing that you're so into golf. I play golf from time to time, but I'm terrible. And, I'd love to stay in touch and see how I can better refer to you. Leave it for them. You want to do nice things for them, because once you're able to help others, they're able to help you. So remember, there were a lot of tips. There was a lot going on in this little episode here. I hope this is helpful for you. Networking is about making connections, and it's about the long game. absolutely you might start getting patients right away. Absolutely. We have a really unique career and we have the ability to help people transform in a very powerful way. So don't be surprised if you start getting amazing referrals right off the bat. And also, don't be surprised if it takes a little bit of time, because also what we do is a little unique, a little different, and networking is all about making those connections. I hope that this was helpful for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me. And as always, be well.